Okay, we should be on. We should be on. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. What's up, y'all? Good vibes, good vibes. This morning, I'm a little late today, but the energy still feel good. We got a lot of topics to talk about today, and I just wanted to chop it up with you guys just on a conversational type of format today because of just the temperature of what's been going on in our communities, especially as mine as well. And I just wanted to keep you guys up to date on what we should be looking forward to in the next few weeks and months to come. Okay, so before we start this off, I just want to I want to send some healing energy. There was a big, like, I guess you could say, like a shootout with the police out here in Queens, and an NYPD officer. I believe two NYPD officers, or one of them had got shot. This guy, he was robbing, I guess he was robbing someplace on Jamaica Avenue, and he ended up getting caught up in the mix. Cops seen him in the mist, and then he ended up getting shot and eventually, succumbing to his injuries. And this is the type of energy that's going on in a lot of our communities. And I just wanted to bring that up to just start this episode off with saying that, it's still happening. People are still having these issues, mental health issues. People are still robbing people. And there's people out there still trying to do harm to people. So we still got to keep our eyes open and know that in these next days to come, nothing is really going to change as far as us. The only thing that's going to start to change is us, as far as people out there, you got to look at it like this. These people with mental issues and things like that, they're not watching the news and they're not looking for any solutions to these problems or trying to fix themselves. So this is an on and on, everyday thing going on in their minds, and you never know when it's your day to bump into one of these people. So you just got to be healing energy to the officers that got injured in that as well, because it's sad out here, and we got to do something. We got to do a little more than extra in these times, just to keep a little peace of mind. Next thing I wanted to jump into, I don't want to rush through this thing here. I was watching a few videos I seen on Shyne. I know he went around to a couple podcasts, and he did a couple interviews, and he was just going into speaking on the whole Diddy situation, just from the beginning to where he's at now with his life. And one of the things that I wanted to highlight is in between this, I hear a lot of people saying that, Shyne is doing it for this or doing it for that, but he explained that he was telling this story a while before. And one thing that really stood out in this whole situation between Diddy and Shyne, in his past, you could say, quarrels or beefing with Diddy, Diddy offered him $50,000 or gave him $50,000, thinking that would be, that would compensate for, the years he did in prison, the 10 years he did in prison. And it's just those type of, and he also explained that the reason why he took that in offense is because he also, at the same point, Diddy was spending almost $500,000 on Cassie on like a shopping spree in Paris. So it shows you the level of where he pays for his importance. He feels like, the stuff he gets away with is not, he's more like most likely just paying his way through these situations, and whatever price he feels like is right that can take it down, that's what he's been up to. I'm hearing that they had raided his jail cell and they found things. I feel like it's so many people that's coming forward with this whole Diddy situation that it's going to come to a point where it's going to have to start boiling down to the victims. Like, I feel like everybody should have, if there's gonna be all these victims, I feel like it can't be everybody behind the closed curtain. We have to see more on this, and I'm not saying that who's right or who's wrong, but it's just getting to the point of ridiculous where we're seeing more and more people. I mean, where are we going with this here? What are they doing with this? We really want to know on that. As far as his kids taking over his Instagram and doing these social media things, I don't feel like that's too important at this point. I feel like the most important thing right now is, and you know what? It also says a lot, because Diddy being in prison, it puts a highlight on the system, the judicial. It puts a highlight on just the prison system, and how it just the whole people getting incarcerated. It shows what can be done and what can't be done, because you have a man with so much money and he's in a place where he's being held, and we're hearing different stories. I don't know if these stories are true and how people are making up Diddy's bed, this and that. I hear a whole bunch of stories, but I don't, those are not really the stories that really necessarily stick to me, because they're just, those are more personal stories that's going on in his everyday life. Whereas the stories that's coming out from, you know, these other people are more criminal and more detrimental to his life. So I don't really know, you know, it's to the point where I feel like it's not like I'm getting tired of it, but it's to the point where I do want to see something beyond just the allegations, or I want to, it has to be more, it has to be more credible stuff, and we have to start seeing more things, because the more and more we look at this, we start realizing that this whole Diddy situation, it played out for, this has been a, even though he's just being caught now, this is something that they've been working on for a few years back, and we do need some answers within that too. As far as like the Tupac, adding the Tupac situation into this whole thing, I don't know about all that stuff. You know, that's when it gets confusing for me, and that it's just so many things coming from so many angles. It's actually like this. It's almost like a horror story at the end of the day. But I'm just hoping that everybody, when I say everybody, I'm meaning the victims, I'm hoping everybody just get their just due, and they can come to some kind of peace before this trial even goes into starts, and before they even sentence him. I hope these people found peace, or at least some kind of peace within him just being acknowledged for the person that we now know he is. So I hope that brings peace to them, instead of waiting on to see, you know, what his sentence will be like or what's going to happen in the future. I hope the peace is brought because they captured the person that you guys wanted to show who his real person was. Now people know, and I hope that brings you peace, instead of waiting for him to be locked for 20 or whatever years they plan to give this man for you to feel some kind of peace. So that's just what I wanted to talk about and cover on that. I see another crazy story I wanted to bring to you guys. This is not celebrity driven, but there was a 65-year-old and a 31-year-old teacher, and they both got stabbed by an 11-year-old in a Philly school. And I thought to myself, like, 11-year-old stabbing. They said the 11-year-old, he had brought a kitchen knife from his home, and he went to school, probably was having problems in school, and he felt some kind of way, and I guess he went off. But you know, 11 years old to stab two teachers, it's just ridiculous. It shows you, I put out a, if you guys have been checking my videos out, I have a video out today, and it's on single parenting, and this kind of falls into somewhere down the line. I feel like this falls into this situation as well, because to have an 11-year-old go out there and stab his teachers, it's just to process that in my head, I'm thinking to myself, before I even could think, how can an 11-year-old go through and do this? I'm thinking to myself, the drama at home, what he was intaking at home must have been so detrimental to him that build-up hurt and pain that he had, he could not take another second of anybody else disrespecting him or making him feel uncomfortable, and it led him to sneak the kitchen knife in his book bag or whatever, go to school, and this end up happening. Now, I believe in this situation he did get arrested, and let me see, I believe they're gonna charge him. I believe because in Philadelphia, I believe that he's gonna get charged. You know, probably this is probably gonna be a big case, whether they want to charge him like an adult or put him in like a juvie until he reaches adult stages, and then they transfer him into adult prison. I don't know how that's gonna go, but what I really wanted to focus on that, especially when it comes down to like Philly, you know, Philly and New York, it's like we're like cousins, you know. It's not that much different. We're not that far away from each other. A lot of people in other places, other states, think that we're one. So what I want to say about Philly is, when it comes down to the structure of a lot of those homes, got a lot of Muslim families, and from what I know, you know, there's good parts of Philly and there's bad parts of Philly, and this most likely is coming from the bad part of Philly, where there's a lot of, you know, trauma, and there's a lot, you know, there's a dark halo, you know, around these communities that's building up with hate. And to have the kids like that, don't think that that's the only kid in that neighborhood that thinks like that, that thinks that, you know, they have to fight to get their solution. Because at 11 years old, you cannot say that he's not confused. His mind has been confused on how to solve his problems from the, because you're in school to learn how to solve problems and you didn't even get there yet because you're only 11 years old. So, you know, it's not only a sad situation, but it's an eye opener to show you that it's not, sometimes it's not necessarily the age, because you can build up hate in a kid or adult and the same results can happen. It's just a person reaching a point where they feel like they're gonna snap, and they, you know, they can't take whatever they, you know, has been bothering them. And it's sad, man. There's a lot of kids out there that's dealing with these type of issues, especially in these places where the crime is at an all-time high, and some of them are scared, and that's the only way they could go about their stuff, by defending themselves. And some of them don't even know how to, you know, to solve anything. And these situations, when we see like teachers in schools, any place where there's you know, structured type of environments, as far as like schools, concerts, anything like that, where you're gonna have the youth, you know, being a part of. There's always gonna be some people that's misguided within the bunch. So you have to know how to recognize that, and know your kids and their friends. Get to know their friends. Get to know the people around your kids, and get to know what triggers your kids. If there's a problem at home, try to solve that with your kids before you send them out. Even if you have to hold them back a year because you don't want to put them in problems, you know. These are the things that I feel like these are most important in these times, because the youth are the ones that's going to be making the decisions in the future. So if these are the type of the solutions that they're coming up with because that's all they know, you could just imagine so many other kids out there in Philly thinking the same way and not knowing that, because they're not going to look at the news and say, oh, well, this could happen to me. No, it's just like, this is happening to me. I'm going through this right now. So for those people out there, man, just make better decisions. And for the parents out there, pay attention to your kids a lot more than normal. Even if it takes time out of your day, a little extra time, do it, because it's always going to be worth it. If you want to keep your kid around and you want to see your kid grow and, you know, become, you know, somebody that's going to be great in society and a benefit to society, well, that's what you got to do. Let me see. And I really need you guys to like these videos up and, you know, really share them out, because, you know, when, like, I see a lot of content creators, you know, they, you know, around the election time, they've been doing a lot of politic videos, and I'm not really into that. And that's when they opened the YouTube, and then people were saying, oh, YouTube is easy and the views are all coming in. It's because they're politics. They want to see what you're talking about, and then they get rid of you because they don't really care after it's over. So you have to always maintain who you are, so when these times come around, you know how to get through it. Good morning, good morning, good morning, my good people. Yes, we all in here, for real, for real. Whenever I see a name pop up, I always feel good vibes. Another thing I wanted to talk on is G Herbo. That's my guy, man. His father, you know, passed away. So healing energy goes out to G Herbo and the family. And with his father passing, you know, losing your father, losing your loved ones, it's a type of disconnection that you never seem to get over, because you always have them there with you. Whether it's in, you know, in the physical or in spirit, they're always there with you. So healing energy out to G Herbo. And I heard that he was going to do an interview and he couldn't make it through. So hopefully we hear a little more from G Herbo in the next months to come, and just kind of help him guide it, take it through. Because trust me, there's a lot of people out here losing loved ones, and some people go about it different. And you can learn some things from them that maybe if it happens to you, God forbid, that you know how to get through it. Yeah, man, my boy G Herbo, man. In these times, you know, losing somebody is just, it's not, it's crazy. Did you guys hear Beyonce? She's doing a headline halftime during the NFL, the Christmas game. And that's really dope. I don't know if people are starting to realize, but Netflix is starting to take over in their own little way. Now, I know the Tyson fight, you know, the servers were kind of sketchy, because they wasn't, you know, really ready for all of this, like, you know, traffic coming into the Netflix on a live, type of thing. So I'm waiting to see if they're ready for the Beyonce traffic coming in there. And they're having football now with Netflix. So we see where sports is going. Netflix is starting to take over slowly by slowly. We're starting to see things getting done in different ways. And for those who don't know, Netflix pays a lot of money. So a person, that maybe, let's just say like WNBA, the females, they would get paid a lot more if they did more things on Netflix and things, specials and things like that, and that will boost up their, their notoriety and their brand, their brands that they're trying to push, because Netflix pays you kind of like in a way of like a movie format, so you always get paid, and that's kind of dope. So we see a lot of different platforms opening their platform to do different things with different events. And I think that's going to be dope. I think the Beyonce performance for Christmas time, just because of the holidays, it's going to land very good. I feel like that's going to, I love around the holiday times just to get people up in good vibes and hearing some good music. I don't really want to hear the back and forth beefing with each other music around the holiday times. It's just not my twist, and I don't like that. I really want to hear all the good music, even if I have to go back to back in the days music. I really want to hear some good things. So Beyonce during the holidays, I think that fits. Netflix, that's going to be really dope. I'm definitely tuning into that. Have no problem with that. I love to see artists out there doing what they love doing, because that translates with their fans. Not out there just, doing the most. For real. For real, for real. I feel like we have to go into it, with the positivity, because so many things are happening, y'all. Things are really happening. Another thing I seen, Ray J, I don't know if you guys feel me on this one, but I feel like Ray J, and it's not like we're not taking him serious, but when it comes to R&B, I'm gonna just tell you like this. There's a couple queens in R&B that nobody, they just can't play with. You mention these people, and it's almost like you can lose your career talking about these certain people. And the person that I'm talking about is Whitney Houston. Don't you ever forget or think that people don't think that they don't have those little questions hovering over their minds about the whole Ray J and Whitney Houston, situation. Ray J, on one hand, he says that they weren't dating like that, but we all know as well, and they were dating, and there were drug usage in there, and Whitney, so I've heard a lot of things, and I'm not saying these things are true. These are just alleged things, but for him now to come and speak on somebody else's situation, it's kind of like, make sure that what you got going on is situated right before you go and, speak on anybody else. But being that you are standing up, I can't knock you for standing up for this situation with Diddy, because it's horrific. But certain people, their credibility is a little bit questioned just because of their past. And everybody has their own hurdles to get over. So you got to make sure you got your situation straight before you just jump over and feel like you want to say or go on anybody else's situation, because we all have things that we deal with. So you don't want to just, I think that's what takes his credibility, and people just kind of like are iffy with what he says. But I feel like if it's coming from the heart and he feels like this is something that, that he's strong about, then I can't knock it. I really can't knock it. Come on now. They said he's claiming that the celebs, they know the so-called freakos. We know that. We understand that some celebs are scared to speak up at this point because of the fact that their names being involved in that, they'll lose brand deals, they'll lose a whole bunch of things. And we understand that, but I feel like with the information that it seems like the feds have, they should have enough information up to this point to at least do some kind of prosecuting or get to the point of what this whole thing is really about. And up to this point, we are all unclear of what this whole thing is about. There's been a whole bunch of people, jumping in this mix, but we really want to, what is this about? What are y'all doing with Diddy, and what is going on in this situation? And can these people see some kind of justice? And can this case be, a case that, can a jury, be in this case? Because this is so big, and he's such a big mogul that the world knows about this. This is worldly news, and I don't know if it can, I don't know how they're going to situate this whole case. It's going to be a mess. it's going to be a big mess. And it's not like he just has $2 in his pocket. The guy has a lot of money to fight back too. I see a lot of wrongs on both sides. I see a lot of things that people made claims against him, and things that they didn't really go about it the right way. Just jumping on social media is not the legal ways of going about it. You might want to do that after, and most likely your lawyers will tell you don't say anything at all. But I see a lot of people jump to the social media first, and when they get to the lawyers or whatever, the evidence is not enough evidence to keep it there, whatever they claims, so it makes everything messy. Then I hear people pulling up past things, and I hear about Gene Deal it's just a whole mess. And I want to really see, what is this all gonna amount up to, and what people are gonna get out of this, because I already see the lesson in it. And like I told you guys, when it comes down to when you follow in your dreams, you want to do something that you want to do, and God put you on this earth to do. It's not about what everybody else thinks. I always look at it like, look, some people were saved by not going into that business or being around those type of people, because some people have a big heart, a humble heart, and they get around these people and it just changed their whole trajectory of how they look at life. So you got to look at it like that too. A lot of people's lives been saved by not getting into a business like that. But it's not to say you can't get into business on your own. No, it's just to say you have to go about a different route of doing that. And I think that's independence. Staying away from people that don't want the best for you. I think that is something that we can take not only in entertainment, but we can take that in our everyday lives. Think about it. I don't want to be around people that talk about me or feel some kind of way about me. I want to be around people that, they love the things that I do, and they appreciate me for being a friend or just a person, that inspires people. That's my goals, and that's how I want to live my life. I don't want to live my life watching my back, or people's, when I go to a party, people are talking about me. That's not the way that you want to live your life. You want to be a loving being when you go in and meeting people. If you're into that, if you want to be a socialite, you can't have these dark things hovering over your head. Come on, we could do better than that, and we got to treat each other better than that. And another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, I know a lot of people don't say too much, and I don't speak on people's families like that, but I do want to say something about Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, and their beautiful kids. Now, when it comes down to that whole dynamic of them, I've seen the kids grow. We all seen the kids grow, but in between that, I've seen almost like a the kids have like a sense of like a defensive, and that comes from paparazzi, as them being young kids, and paparazzi always chasing their mom and their dad, and they're not, they just used to cameras just chasing them down. And I thought about that for a second, and I said, you know what, growing up the way they grew up, it's almost like a fight with the public type of situation. And the way they're going to think when they grow up, they have to be trained or parented a different way than a person that is coming up regularly. So everybody has their different ways of parenting. But the way they're doing it, just, with everything on social media, the kids seeing mom and dad go through this and that and switching partners and all of that stuff could be toxic to a younger person's mind. Not understanding, where's the love in these situations, or who loves who. It gets so confusing. So people got to pay attention to that, especially like if you have kids and you're dating, maybe your relationship didn't work out with your partner and you want to start dating again. You don't bring that person into your kid's life until it's solid, or you're trying to do a little bit long term. You try to keep like the more, I guess, the more, I wouldn't say you don't want to jump in a relationship, but the ones that you feel like could go somewhere, those are the ones you want to introduce to the family. You don't introduce everybody to your family. That's just, you don't just want to do that. You want to make sure that everybody that comes around is in your best benefit. And that's what you have to be looking for. You cannot be looking for those playful relationships anymore when you have kids. You can't do that, because those days are behind when there's when you have little ones involved, because they're going to be a part of the relationship as well. Might not be a part of the relationship you think, but yeah, they're going to be a part of that relationship as well. That's something that people always tend to forget, like, The connection is always going to be there, and you have to make it clear where you want to go when you're dating and things like that. You got to make it clear with your partner, even if it's from day one. It's never too early to let somebody know where you see your life going, or where you want to see a relationship going, or the type of relationship that you see yourself having. It's never too late to tell somebody or inform somebody. I think that's one of the things that people shy away from, and they just concentrate on the looks or the situation. But when you really break it down and bust it up with somebody and try to find out the things that they love, and maybe some things you guys have in common, some things you can't respect, and you start going over the things that you want, you start to see where both parties want to take the relationship. Those ones make the best relationships. You will have lesser chances of becoming like the new video, single parent household. It's some of the things that's been going on in our society that just makes me think a lot. Like, these could have been avoided, but due to this, it has to happen. It's crazy. I see just a little going a little bit on the political side. I think we got to look out for Russia. It's People are very sneaky. I think people's outlook on America, it's they feel like, being because the immigrants were over here and they were doing what they want to do. I feel like people think that they can just come over here and do what they want to do, and we're in a vulnerable state right now, in a stage where it's like people don't know who to turn to. And I think people are reading that in other places, and that could be detrimental to us as a whole. But see, when we all come together and things are just going the right way, and I'm not saying that it was ever a time where everything was just going the right way, but I'm just saying, when we are a little more structured about ourselves, America looks strong. We look like, even if it's not that, and we're working on getting to that point, we look more the people to go to, instead of the people that you look at and just point the finger at. So we got to get back to that point where everything is, working the way it's supposed to. Prices are not going to be high out the roof, sky high in the roof. People have places to live. There's a lot going on, y'all. I'm seeing it on the news. There is so much going on. We can talk about the mental health, but then again, we got to look at the homeless people out there, and these situations that drive these people to, end up in these places where they're using pills and drugs and things like that. The list is so long, and it's scary. It's scary to me. It's very scary to me. It's very scary to me. It's scary to see people out there and they don't have nobody to turn to. I've never been put in that position, but thank God. But I always have like some kind of family to turn to, or somebody that I can talk to. So that's always kept me, it's kept me grounded, and it kept me, even if I feel like one day I'm down because of whatever might possibly be on my mind, I will always have other things to turn to, and make sure that, just give that reassurance that I'm doing the right thing. And I think a lot of people need that in their life, whether it be a girlfriend, a family member, somebody, a good friend, a best friend, somebody to turn to that sees you for you and they don't judge you. That's what it's all about. For real, for real. I always, and talking about my, shouts out to my cousin Rachel. Happy birthday. Much love, much love. I'm gonna make you I'm gonna make her a special design hoodie. She says she wears small, so I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna get that to her, and yeah, just enjoy your birthday. And the world has so much to offer. You just gotta figure it out, and you define and let you paint your own picture, and then you put your own frame on it, and you realize you got something special. So thank God for my family. I have a big family, y'all. My family is so big, and yeah, I just appreciate the people. It's always good to appreciate people that's in your life, and you might not see every day, but the love is always there. That's the type of priceless stuff that's gonna keep all of us going, man. For real, for real. During the holiday season, I just want to eat some good food and see a lot of smiles on everybody's faces. I don't want to hear no more artists getting killed and this and that. People, we got to do the right stuff, man. We got to do the right thing, man. And I want to see some better movies too, man. There's a lot of movies. Well, I've seen a few movies out there that can really turn things up, but I really want to see some more movies that we can relate to the times that we're living in right now. Another thing, I'm hearing that Jay-Z might. This is just a I've been trying to look into it, but he might possibly be dropping an album. And we all know when Jay-Z drops albums, or even I'm waiting for or Kendrick, it's gonna be dope. I feel this time around, I promise you, whether it's Jay-Z or Kendrick, it's gonna sound like my live. Their whole album is gonna sound like my live that I'll be presenting to you guys. Y'all watch and see. It just got to come to a point where, I hope that they can translate it well and they can put some of these messaging and some of these things in song, because you guys would be so surprised. I've been hearing a lot of things in different places where I'm like, wait, hold on, I said that, or so I'm glad that it's getting out there, whether I'm seeing it face to face, but I can guarantee you their albums are gonna sound like my live streams. I promise you that. But yeah, man. So I want to do something. I have, like I told you guys, for the holidays, I want to work on a show. I want to get, the little ticket thing going around the bottom. I want to get the show working, a little better besides the live stream. And that's what I've been working on. So I've been looking into little things that I want to, put together for the holidays, and just want to get things going good. I'm just trying to. Everybody got to step it up. Step it up. That's what it's all about. Stepping it up, y'all. Stepping it up. Another thing, hold on. What's going on with Young Thug, man? Young Thug, my boy. I know he can make some good music, but he got to keep himself out of all of this other stuff. Because hip hop, man, you be getting sued for this and that, and you owe this, you owe that. You got to get your money from here or there. It's a lot of tricky stuff about it. You got to keep yourself out of that. Those stipulations that's held above his head, they're not easy. Not easy. Oh, and it's so that's so crazy. I just seen on one of the thumbnails that Keke Palmer, she opens up on co-parenting. See, this is the thing. That's the reason why I bring up those. Me myself, I have a little niece. I don't have a child on my own, but I'm always open to family, kids, and things like that. But the first thing that I'm open to, you have to be open to your partner. Love your partner so much that like they feel some kind of way when the baby comes, and you share that love. If you don't feel that love with your partner and you just go on and it's just sex, when these type of situations happen, it makes it that much difficult for you to say, okay, can I see myself? You're gonna ask yourself at that point, can you see yourself with that person? You have to be more, planning with your relationships. Try to think in your head, even though there might be hundreds of people that you feel like you can get with, keep your love for one person. For real, don't do what everybody else does. Everybody else is jumping around from person to person, this and that. Look, keep your love for one person, and once you find another person that feels that same way, that bond is not gonna break. So whatever y'all go through, whatever happens, whether it be a child involved, a problem, you guys can solve together. Once you start doing it that way and start thinking like that, that's gonna be, you won't have to worry about, oh, I can't see myself just being a single parent. No, you're not gonna be no, that's not, don't think like that, because that can hold back a lot. It can hold back a lot. And just being a single parent is not the worst thing in the world either. I was raised by a single parent in a single parent home. And there are things that it all depends. Just because you're a single parent, like my father was always around too. So it's not like, some people just, their dynamic is different. You have to, as a parent, I feel like if you teach your kids in a certain way you have to kind of teach your kids in a way how to love and how to accept the unknown, accept the difference. Because when they go to school and see maybe kids with two parents and they just have one parent and they have that question in the back of their head, you should make that easier to understand for them and understand that everybody's not the same. Everybody's situations are not the same. Once they find those understandings at an earlier age, it grows with you. It grows with you. And that kid, instead of that kid being the kid to turn out now, and when they get older, they be in a single parent relationship, they'll be the person that will be looking to get a relationship that stays together, because they've seen, they seen everything and they want this out of it, So you never know. It just having be coming from a single parent household doesn't mean that you have a whole future of being a single parent. No, doesn't mean that. All whatever wrongs you feel or the things that you feel that needs to be corrected is all up to you to push for that. That's why you have a lot of couples. They work their situations out. I feel like once you knock out to be honest with you, once you knock out cheating, which covers for like selfishness, greed, all that's in that. People look at it like, it's just cheating. No, it's a lot of like selfishness and stuff like that. If you say you love somebody, and you won't want to hurt somebody that bad, and if that's something that they feel that's going to be detrimental to them, why would you feel like, it just doesn't add up. So that's like the selfish part of it. Once you get that out of it, once you kind of build like a little establishment for yourself. You have like your goals. She has her goals. You guys will be fine. Not trust me. This, back in the day, relationships was like, we're gonna sail off into the wind and be millionaires. You don't really think about the money. You just do. Both of you guys do what you do, and you build together. And there's always something beautiful that comes out of every relationship when you just stick together. Y'all might not know or you guys might have had separate goals before you got together, and when you got together, these goals became one for each of you. So these are the things. You can't go in there separately. Once you have a relationship, it becomes one. No matter what you two goals are, what the goals you have, even if they're different, you work on each other. You work on each other. You know, that's what in these times, that's what it's all about. If you look on social media, it makes relationships look like it's always like a competition or something you have to keep up with, and that's not necessarily true. You can be the couple looking on social media like, look at them, they lying, this and that, and y'all both going through this experience of, living through a real relationship, living through real love, while you see everybody else faking it, and make it like an entertainment for you guys because you guys know what you have. So it's all about perspective. It's all about perspective, you guys. All about perspective. Perspective is what I would say, that's how you take the punch. Some people take the punch and they hurt. They never want to fight again. Some people take the punch, want to hit harder. Or some people they could just take the punch and keep it moving. It's all about perspective. It's all about your intake, how you take things in, and how, when somebody does or something wrong or something you don't agree with, how do you take it? How do you take it? Do you take it and lose yourself within it? Or do you take it and learn from it, or just stay away from it? All of these things count for everything you do. From the little things to the big things, man. From the little things to the big things. Especially for this new year coming, it's a lot of things that I want to accomplish, a lot of new stuff, a lot of new ideas I have and I want to accomplish. I've accomplished some old ones, and I want to do more, because I want to do more to help people as well as help myself. I need all the help I can get. So I'm going to try to do more, and then God will bless me, on the back end. Me and God, I signed a little deal with him, That's the only deal I ever signed with him, We got a little deal going on, I sent a couple prayers up there, and they all worked out for me. So yeah, we on good terms right now, me and God. We on some good terms. So I'm just hoping that, these blessings that I got next set to they'll come true, and within those blessings, I can help people out. And that's going to be like the new thing for me, I've been doing it all my life, but I haven't had it structured. I've always been helping people here and there in these little situations. Now that I have a place where I can not really show it, but a place where I can just have it all together and, align things a little better, I'm happy to see what 2025 has in store for all of us. Things are moving so fast as far as like social media and technology. I see everybody's technologies, like they building technology to make people do things faster, and I'm like, that's not technology to me. Technology to me is like solving problems, not things that you can do on your own and you just made it faster for me to do. I mean, I can get there, I don't mind that. I want the things that we can't, the things that we can't really, seem to get together and solve. If they can build technology around those stuff, I think the world would be a better place. Sometimes I think to myself, how come music is all the same? Like, how come we don't have no different types of music or different types of sports? How come everything is such a cycle? How come we can't invent? The more we got to train our minds and exercise our minds to do new things, build new things, instead of like always coming up with something there where you have to have the blueprint is already sealed for the people already like it. Why don't you introduce something that people don't know if they like it yet? You have to take some risk out here, man. If we don't take any risk out here, the world's going to spin the same way and we're going to be thinking the same things. If we take some risk, make some failure, get some failures in there, you got to build up those failures to get the big wins. So put some of those in there and mix it all up. We're going to get something good. We can make new genre of music. We can make new sounds of music. Why? They just came up with drill. Okay, cool. Drill didn't go the way we thought it would go. So boom, put your energy into something else and build something new. Why everybody got to stick to that? That's not the last. It's not the last, and it's not the first, and it's not going to be the last. Come on. There's so many ways you can go about your music. They should have been by now. I know if there's like ever like a genre where there's poetry and you can just like put your words and your that into like a music format, and there's an opening for that. I'm pretty sure we can do a lot more things. People could, there's a lot of writers out there that can probably make good music but don't want to go down that circuit, and they might want to put it in a different format so they can get their stories and there's a lot of stuff that we can do. There's a lot. I'm always looking into like what's the next thing, or how. Even if you want to make some more money or you want to bring in some more income, you still got to realize whatever you do, you're going to have to do it more than one time. So you have to make sure that whatever you're looking into is something that you can see yourself doing for, a certain amount of time, or that, you can add a little extras to the bank. That's what I'm on right now. Whenever I find something that's going to be, a little helpful to you guys, I'll definitely leave it up. I'll put it out in a post or I'll put it in a live, one or the other. Because we all need some help out here, man. I know and this is a learning lesson too, around like election times, maybe the next time around will be the Super Bowl and things like that. These are the times where you want your messages to stick on social media. You want to meet people, socialize, socialize with people, because that's when all the eyes and ears are on social media. And that's when normally these conversations are being open to a wider audience, because these platforms have control of, the eyes and ears because of recommendations and things like that. So you want to make sure that whatever you got going for yourself around the holidays, these are times where you want to express yourself and let people know what you got going. I'm going to be stepping up my brand, the Inspired by Dreams brand. We're doing good. I want to build it and get it to a place where it's just a go-to for people that hold on. 1 minute. Yo. No, that was an accidental call from my bro. So I had to check, accidentally make sure he good, so yeah, man. Yeah, I'm about to get some breakfast, and could y'all still hear me? Could you hear it? I might. No, I don't have that video. I had to I gotta work on some new stuff for you guys too. I really gotta work on some new stuff. Maybe for the weekend I'm gonna get more videos in there. I hope I covered everything. I'm gonna run and get some breakfast, and later on I might tune back in on the live. No, seriously, because I owe you guys a video. I'm gonna tune back in. Got a lot of things going on in these NYC streets. Oh, you're gonna be in NY on the 26th, you see? You stepping in these NYC streets? Okay. Family, coming out here to enjoy yourself. I hope you get good weather when you come out here too. Because the weather out here can't make up its mind. Oh, you don't have family here. Yeah, you never know. You just come out here and enjoy yourself, and you make sure when you get out here that if you need any food spots, anything, you need any questions, I got you. That's for sure. Oh, you got signed to an agency. Nice. In Manhattan. What is agency for modeling, extras? If you ever need any advice on any things like that, I'm always willing to help you. I did like in my early modeling, nice, nice, nice. Have you ever thought about doing extras? I did some extras in some movies. That's good too. You can get some good placements out here. Modeling, I could probably plug you. I know some people, yo. It's not like that. Let me know how that goes when you get out here with that whole modeling situation, and because I know a few people out here that can help you out if you have like a direct of what you want to do. It's a city called Poughkeepsie. Hmm, that's not close to here. Um, oh, okay, cool. You know what? I'll check for you. I'm gonna check with a few people for you. But if you have like a resume or like, what you should do is you should, and I don't know if they, not just, Instagram and things like that. They do have like, you can set up your whole page. But if I was you, I would get a website and kind of like put it in like a format, like the things that you do and the things that you can see yourself doing, and kind of have like a visual resume, so you can always have to show people. And when it comes to I know a few people in there. I know a few people that that's in the business. I'll look into it, and any plugs that I get that can probably help you out in that sense. I'll, because I know with this one person, my boy Un, not Uncasa the Dipset. I know another Un too. He was responsible for getting me on the Dave Chappelle show, and he's always around a lot of people. If you look him up, he has his it's like called Protect Your Heart, and he could probably plug you with a few people. I know a lot of people that know, I know a few people, some good people I know. So if you ever need help in that, if you ever need help in certain things, I could look into some things and check it out for you. But yeah, I know a few people. It's just not coming to my head at this certain point. But as far as when it comes to this industry, I know a few people that could give you some good placement. I wish you good luck when you do come out here, and let me know how that goes. Let me know how that goes. Um, Especially with the modeling, I know a few people that can probably figure some things out. But I'll have to. But I would never just push you on them like that. I'll have to check out and see what people are up to. I've been in my little space for some time now, but my word is always still good with people. I'm one of those type of people. So if I do look into something, people will hold me down. But yeah, man, that's a good way of looking at it. Take modeling and weigh it in with extras. Playing extras in some shows out here. Like they have a lot of daytime shows that you can play extras in. It doesn't always necessarily have to be movies. There's a lot of people that need extras, and you build once you start getting into the realm of all of that, that's when you start building yourself with people, the relationships, and then you can find yourself in better placements, and you can move on from the extras. And that's a good thing. I don't hear a lot of people in these times talking about that, but extras are needed in a lot of places. Modeling, it's also a big deal too. And you can pick up a couple, like new brands coming up and things like that always need models. But it's always, what you have to, it's being that you're traveling, things like that, you have to be covered for your travel. You have to be covered for certain things. Because I know a chick a good friend of mine from in the past, she was a model, and they flew her out and they were paying for her stay. And then whenever she got what she got done, they paid for her ticket, for her to go back. So that was kind of cool. So I'll look into it, and I'll keep trust me, and that's the way my mind works. If I come in contact with somebody and we're in a conversation and that comes up, like, oh wait, hold on, you know what? I know somebody. So I'll definitely keep that link energy in in my mind. Got you. I promise you. If I can do anything to help somebody, trust me, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Sometimes I need that invisible person. I need another me to help me. I don't know what it is. But I appreciate you and love you guys. And just, this we got a couple more days to go, and we're gonna make it through. We're gonna get through all of this. All the nonsense and all that stuff that's out here to trick us and fool us. No, we're gonna keep ourselves focused on the things we have to do. And yeah. You guys just be the best you for today. Be the best you and keep your energy up and look forward to another day. I love you guys and thank you for tuning in, man. This energy today, y'all got me feeling good too. So I feel good about today's live. And if you guys have any questions, definitely tune into my videos. I need you guys to share those. And yeah, come here, give me a hug. All right. Love you guys, and until next time, it's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now, and also share. Love y'all. Peace.